What's going on, everyone? Like Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing my two fantasy teams for this upcoming 2022 NFL season. As I'm in two leagues, a 10-man and an 8-man league, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about each team in this video. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on my team. What do you think you would change, and what do you think is good about the team? We'll start off with my first team. It's in a 10-man league, and I had the 6th overall pick. My team name is Hotel Motel Galladay Inn, so you obviously know that I have Kenny Galladay on my team on the bench. But starting at quarterback, I got Joe Burrow, of course, the reigning AFC champion quarterback. Obviously, simple there, good pick. I got him in about the 6th round, 7th round, so good value there with Joe Burrow. And then I picked Cooper Kupp with my first pick at number 6 overall. It was down to him or Justin Jefferson, whoever, the 5th overall pick didn't take, and that happened to be Cooper Kupp. I didn't really have a preference because I like both of them, so I ended up with Cooper Kupp there and T. Higgins at the other wide receiver spot. So a couple really solid wide receivers, two guys that made it to the Super Bowl last year. So my top three players, my quarterback and my two receivers, are all guys who made it to the Super Bowl last season. Then at running back, I got Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. I'm expecting a big year from him to stay healthy and just have a really good year. And then at the other running back spot, I got Elijah Mitchell, the second-year player with the San Francisco 49ers. He had a great rookie year with San Fran. He was their starting running back, and he was really good. And I think he's going to continue to be good with Trey Lance as the quarterback there. I think they're going to try and get Elijah Mitchell out in space, especially early on. Just try and get Trey Lance to ease into the NFL and just get him some, light check down throws. So that could make a lot of sense. And we'll see what happens there ultimately. But I like to pick with Elijah Mitchell. The workload is going to be heavier for him as he's entering his second season, so I like that there. And then at the tight end spot, I got Darren Waller. Can't go wrong with him there. Darren Waller, of the Vegas Raiders, great player, and he's got a couple good receivers. So he's going to have, when Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow are locked up, you're going to have Darren Waller just sitting around. His yards after the catch are really good, so I think he's a solid pick there. And this has two flexes in this league. So one of the flexes, Mike Williams of the Chargers, the wide receiver. Him and Keenan Allen, obviously, they're Justin Herbert's two best targets, and they're going to get a whole lot of work this season. So I like that pick there at the flex position. The other flex is J.K. Dobbins coming off an injury. I'm expecting a big year out of him with the Baltimore Ravens, as of course we know how big of a threat that run game is in Baltimore, and J.K. Dobbins is a huge part in that as a starting running back. My bench for the squad looks pretty good as well. I got Rashad Penny of the Seattle Seahawks, the running back. Of course, brother of Elijah Penny, the former New York Giant. Dak Prescott, the quarterback, my backup quarterback. I picked Dak Prescott in case one of the other quarterbacks in the league, starting quarterbacks in the league, go down with an injury. The trade value for Prescott will be high because the next best available quarterback is Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa. And in fantasy, those aren't really great quarterbacks. Then I got Russell Gage. Not loving to have Russell Gage, but he is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now, so he has Tom Brady, so that could be good. So we'll see there. David Njoku, the tight end of the Cleveland Browns. He's going to be good late season when he has Deshaun Watson, so that could be good. Of course, Kenny Galladay, my team name. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the newest, KC Chiefs wide receiver, as he is going to have Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. Of course, they lost Tyreek Hill, but they added Juju Smith-Schuster and MVS. So that should be interesting to see there in his first season with the Kansas City Chiefs, the amount of passes he gets. But I would expect for it to be a heavy workload with Patrick Mahomes, the guy. And in KC, that's a throw-pass first team. So it'll be interesting to see there. And then my defense is the San Francisco 49ers defense. I think they're going to have a really good year defensively, as they have some, game changers on the defensive side of the ball. They've had a really good defense for some time now. So that is my first team. Then I'm in another 8-man league, and I had the first pick here. So, of course, that's why I have Jonathan Taylor. But start off at the quarterback, I got Pat Mahomes. You can't go wrong with Pat Mahomes. I selected him after Josh Allen. Of course, Josh Allen was my number one quarterback. Pat Mahomes is number two for this season specifically. Of course, Pat Mahomes does not have Tyreek Hill anymore, but I still think he's going to be dynamic. So I like having Pat Mahomes there as my starting quarterback, and then I got Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift as my running backs. A nice little duo there. And then the Miami wide receiver duo, I love this here. Pretty much any reception to the Miami Dolphins this year, any big reception, is going to be on my fantasy football team. I have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as my 2 starting wide receivers. At the tight end spot, again, I have Darren Waller. I talked about him on my last team. I really like Darren Waller. Of course, I have DK Metcalf at the flex spot. This league has just one flex, and it does have a kicker, but I have DK Metcalf. We'll see, obviously, how that rolls with Drew Lock throwing in footballs and not Russell Wilson, but I think if you get DK Metcalf in space, he's a very dangerous player. So I still think that that's going to, bode really well. The Buffalo Bills defense, probably the best in the league. I had them last year. They had some really, really good games where they won me some weeks, so they're obviously really solid there. And then Graham Gano closing out my starting lineup. He's a great kicker for the Giants. Doesn't miss very many kicks, so that's all you could ask for there. I have a pretty good bench as well. I got Tyler Lockett as the wide receiver, so I have both Seattle and both Miami top receivers there, with the Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill duo, and then the Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf duo. So that's obviously very good there. I also have Adam Thielen, the wide receiver number 2 on the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, the best fantasy football wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, is the top, go-to receiver over there on the Minnesota Vikings. But I have Adam Thielen, the next target. Backup tight end TJ Hawkinson, solid tight end there for the Detroit Lions. Then I took Ramondre Stevenson. I had the option of him or Damian Jones, but I think he's going to get a little bit more work this season with the New England Patriots. We'll see ultimately how that plays out there. You got Kadarius Toney as my wide receiver on the bench as well. I think he's going to have a good year if he could stay healthy, so we'll see ultimately what Kadarius Toney ends up doing. Chris Olave, the rookie wide receiver over with the New Orleans Saints. So I selected him with my last pick. And I got the Pittsburgh Steelers wideout, Chase Claypool, and my fellow Canadian. So I like that pick there. I really like my teams, both of them. But you guys let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on my fantasy football teams. What do you think about them? Let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Let's go Giants.